Our second week of our series called The Power of the Cross. Last week, it was shared to us about the agony means to us. That's what we'll be talking about this Friday. And next week, we will be talking about the triumph of the cross, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And for the last and final week, it says here, agony of the cross, what it means to me. Suffering is beneficial. Who among you thinks that suffering is beneficial? Can I see you raise your hands?
Oo naman.
So, those who raise their hands, I believe you have undergone a certain kind of suffering in your life, right?
Yes.
And you think that it has benefited you.
Yes, a lot.
So, we're going to focus on Jesus Christ suffering on the cross. And how is it beneficial for us? I just want to ask a question. Another question. I have lots of questions. Have you suffered while in labor in the church or labor doing Jesus Christ's ministry?
Yes.
If you have, can I see those hands? Wow. I am not trying to discourage those who haven't, but it says here it is beneficial. So for those who have raised their hands, you know this. And you can be reminded of this with this message. I just want to share to you how I, a volunteer, have suffered. Are you excited to hear of my suffering? So before we go into the word, I just want to share to you, around 2.5 years back, I was offered to lead the music ministry. And I was like, okay, I'm a nurse. My schedule is very erratic, you know. I really cannot commit to this kind of responsibility. You see, I was scared. I didn't know how to lead a ministry. I didn't have that much experience. And growing in the church, because I'm a pastor's kid, by the way, so I've been in the church for quite a long while. I know what it takes to have a ministry under your leadership. So I was really scared to commit. I said, can I think about it? Or don't you have any other person in mind to take this leadership? Because I don't think I can commit. My time is limited. I go for overtime. I have just a few days off a week. So I don't think I can. But then, that brother who told me to take the leadership said, well, if you don't want to take it, somebody else will. We're just offering it to you because we know that you have some qualities that could lead the ministry. And he said, it's not going to be about you anyway. It's going to be about God, and He will put people in places that He wants to put in. So I took that when I went home, and I said, okay, Lord, what do you want me to do? I know I'm scared, but okay, your message is clear. I will say yes, because I know that you will see me through. And true enough, He saw me through. There was a transition in the church at that time. There are responsibilities for the music ministry head, and he needs to roster people, make lineups, you know, these things. So there was only one service a month that time. So it was easy for me. Like I didn't need to do it every week. I can plan it ahead of time. So that was some grace God gave to me as I was transitioning into that kind of leadership. As the months progressed, it was really a struggle for me. It was a suffering. Because we were lacking of volunteers. We were just like, we started with 6 people. Then we auditioned for other people until we became 12. And those 12 weren't really very much available because most of us here are nurses. So we don't really have a very fixed schedule over the weekend. So it was really a struggle and a suffering for me, as I was the one leading this ministry. So, it took a year. It took a really long while, a year, for me to adjust to this. And I thank God really, because fruits have been been bearing, and he has been growing his church. He has been growing the ministry. It's not really about me as the ministry head, not really about me. It's about God. Because he placed a lot of volunteers. And I heard maybe the music ministry now has the biggest pool of volunteers this church has.
Yes, come on.
Currently, we have 23 volunteers.
Yes.
And today is Volunteers General Assembly Day. So if you are interested
Segue.
to suffer with us and benefit from it, then you are most welcome.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get into the word. Can you all please stand up as we honor God by reading this word? Our word is found in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 21 to 25. So, if you have Bibles, you can open it. If you cannot see the screen, you can just read with us. Okay? So here it goes.
To this you were called, because Christ suffered for you, leaving you an example that you should follow in his steps. He committed no sin, and no deceit was found in his mouth. When they hurled their insults at him, he did not retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threats. Instead, he entrusted himself to him who judges justly. He himself bore our sins in his body on the cross, so that he might die to sin and live for righteousness. By his wounds you have been healed. For you were like sheep going astray, but now you have returned to the shepherd and overseer of your souls.
Let us pray. Father God, thank you for your word. Lord, just continue, Lord, to renew our minds and help us be transformed by your words, Lord God. Lord, help me as I deliver your word. Lord, continue to use me, Lord God, as your mouthpiece, that we may hear from you, Lord God. Prepare our hearts, Lord God, to receive your message. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
You may have your seats. Quoting from Isaiah chapter 53, Peter was making a commentary about how Jesus Christ suffered. So this is the verse. It says, "Yet it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer." So first sentence, it's kind of tough, right? Yet it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer. So going to us, us suffering, do you think it's God's will for us to suffer as well? But anyway, let's go through this verse again. "And though the Lord makes his life an offering for sin, he will see his offspring and prolong his days, and the will of the Lord will prosper in his hand." So Isaiah was prophesying, and Paul also quoted this verse. He said that Christians are called to follow Jesus' example of facing suffering. So if the Lord was willing to crush Jesus Christ, to suffer on the cross for a great beneficial purpose, he can also lead us or allow us to suffer for a great beneficial purpose. And in response to Jesus' suffering, we follow his example, as we have read about in 1 Peter 21. To this you were called, because Christ suffered for you. So you are called. So that's how it is. We are also called. Since Jesus Christ suffered for you, we are also called to be sufferers with him. Doesn't that sound nice? Well, anyway, how should we approach suffering then, if that is the case? So how should we approach suffering? First, we should expect suffering. Expect it. It is natural. So if you are a follower of Jesus Christ who suffered for you, then you have to expect that you will also be suffering. Don't you think it's easier to expect something than not to? So for example, you go to work, then your boss suddenly gives you a ton of responsibility or a ton of paperwork to do. You didn't expect it, so how would you react? You'd be like, for the days, so later I will have to go. You know that it's coming. You just don't know when. But it will come. and no one is exempted.
Mm.
So you might be asking, is it like this to become a Christian? Okay, I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna resign from this. Would that be your response?
Mm.
I encourage you, as it says here, you were called. Verse 21 says, you were called. I know being a Christian is not easy, but later on, it says here, don't be surprised. Dear friends, don't be surprised at the fear trials you are going through as if something strange were happening to you. So you have to expect it.
Mm.
Instead, be very glad.
Mm.
Be very glad. Can you say very glad?
Very glad.
Are you glad? I'm struggling to be glad right now. You know, I'm suffering, preaching in front here. You'll be witnessing how I sweat later because I sweat a lot. Anyway, 1 Peter 4, 12, 13, it continues. For these trials make you partners with Christ. Don't you like to be a partner of Christ? If you become a partner of Christ, that will be awesome, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You will be partners with Christ in His suffering so that you will have the wonderful joy of seeing His glory when it is revealed to all the world. Can you say wonderful joy?
Wonderful joy.
So what is it that we're looking forward to? Can you say wonderful joy again?
Wonderful joy.
Okay, so even if we are suffering, we can be very glad because we know in the future we will be seeing His glory with wonderful joy. Amen? So your suffering is not in vain.
Yes.
Okay. And also, if you are still in that suffering, I want to encourage you with this verse. It says, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. You may have peace. You have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. Jesus did. We were singing about it a while back. He overcame.
Mm.
So whatever your troubles are, your trials are, your sufferings are, here on earth, it doesn't matter in heaven. Because whatever you have right now, Jesus Christ overcame that.
Mm.
Amen?
Amen.
Alright. I hope you're encouraged, no? We're talking about suffering and yet we're happy, right? Are you happy?
Yes.
Are you glad? Let's go to number 2. Our approach to suffering. First, we expect it. Second, we endure it.
Yes.
You might be thinking, who is this guy talking? Does he think I'm a masochist or something? Endure suffering. So how long will I endure? We endure because, it says,
It is temporal.
temporal means temporary.
Mm.
It doesn't last long.
Yes.
And mind you, our life here on earth, according to Rick Warren, he says in his book, The Purpose of Life, is just a blink of an eye compared to our life in eternity.
Mm.
So what is a blink of an eye compared to eternity, right? Do you think you'll be suffering in heaven? No. Exactly. So what is it for a blink of an eye to suffer when you will be experiencing joy and great life in heaven, right? So if you've been suffering your whole life here on earth, well, you're going to enjoy an eternity in heaven because your rewards are greater.
Mm.
So endure. 1 Peter 2:21a says, God called you to endure suffering because Christ suffered for you. Endure is a very tough word, right?
Yes.
It's like running a marathon, like 21 kilometers. Or say 42 kilometers. Can you run or walk? That's endurance. That's suffering as well. Your lungs would be tired. You would be dehydrated. If you don't drink anything. 42 kilometers is far.
Mm.
When I drive 42 kilometers, that would be like 40 minutes or 1 hour. So how much more if you run, right? So God called you to endure suffering. In verse 2:20b, it says, but if you suffer for doing good and endure it patiently, God is, can you read it with me? God is
pleased with you.
Pleased with you. It's like seeing, for example, a guy. He's pursuing a woman, and this woman is, she's playing hard to get. For example, you've been giving her flowers, or sending her chocolates, or trying to message her every day, and she's playing hard to get. Are you willing to endure? Maybe you've been trying to pursue her for 3 months without any signs of positive signs. Let's say 6 months. You're very persistent. So that's endurance, That's endurance. If you can endure that, maybe that woman will be pleased with you if you were the guy, And she would give in because you were very persistent in enduring all those things. Maybe even go to visit her in the home and the father doesn't like you. So you will endure everything, right? It's the same thing. If you endure things here because you're doing God's ministry or you're doing things for the Lord, you suffer. And if you endure it patiently, He will be pleased with you. What is our goal here on earth, by the way? Is it to please ourselves?
Please God.
Definitely not. So if you want to please yourself, then it's okay not to suffer, guys. You can bail out. But if you want to please God, this is it. You have to endure suffering. Because if you do not do this path, you'll be serving yourself. Yes, you'll be having problems. You think you can solve them and all that. But you won't be partners with Christ. You may live a happy life. You can do all the things you want to do. Because you may say, oh, you only live once, so I'm going to do everything I want to do. You won't be partners with Christ, but I'm sure that you will have more suffering. And that suffering will not be beneficial. Our response to Christ's call to suffering is to endure. We are called to endure suffering for doing good and endure it patiently according to Peter. These sufferings are light and momentary. Momentary. You can say in Tagalog, in Filipino, we have this teleserye or TV show where there's a song that says, "Kung wala kang..." Sorry.
English.
How do you translate it? Anyway, forget about that. But what was I saying? Sufferings, they're momentary. So just wait on it and it will pass. God will surely see us too in every suffering we take. So just hold on. That's the English of it. Hold on. Kapit lang. Kapit lang, please. Hold on.
Kapit lang, besh.
In 2 Corinthians 4:16-17 it says, can you read it with me if you can read it?
Therefore we do not lose heart, though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all.
Can you repeat far outweighs them all?
Far outweighs them all.
Are you encouraged?
Yes.
Despite suffering, you endure it. It outweighs them all. Eternal glory outweighs them all. So I was saying, if you look into the prize, what is the prize? It is eternity. If you look forward to eternity, you won't really mind the hardships you have at work, the hardships you have with relationships, the hardships you have with finances. It doesn't matter in heaven. So if you put your eyes on the prize, guys, I'm sure your suffering will be lessened. I mean, you won't think of it as a big problem anymore. You may be suffering, but you can suffer gladly. Because you know that your prize is there. It's not here. Our third approach to suffering is endure sufferings. Benefits they are eternal. So as I was saying, just put your eyes on the prize, because as you endure, you will benefit from it. 2 Corinthians 4:17-18 says, it's the same verse a while back. For our light and momentary troubles are receiving, it is eternal. Romans 8:17-18 says, and since we are his children, we are his heirs. In fact, together with Christ, we are heirs of God's glory. But if we are to share his glory, we must also share his suffering. Yet what we suffer now is nothing compared to the glory he will reveal to us later. So are you guys patient?
Yes.
Sometimes it's tough, I know. You may ask yourself, Lord, how long will I be doing this? Lord, I've been laboring in church. I've been in the music ministry. Every Friday I'm there. Every Friday I'm doing my best, and I only have one day off a week. How can I do this? And I'm already tired. How long will I endure this? You may be asking such sometimes. I'm not saying this is your complaint every day, but maybe, just maybe, this could be a question that you have. Because I have had this question myself, and it's part of my suffering. As I was telling you, maybe a year and a half back, I was saying, can we have a short vacation from ministry, please? I was asking Romeo, our congregation leader, can I have a short vacation? I think I need a vacation. But see, guys, it's not really about me in that matter. I was just thinking of myself, wasn't I? I may be physically tired, but there might be some things that I have done to aggravate that suffering. Because you see, suffering can also be a product of things that we do wrong. And this is not a suffering that is beneficial. So if put it together, it could drain you out as someone laboring for Christ. So maybe that would be your question. But then again, just remember the three approaches to suffering. You should have expected it.
Yeah.
You should endure it.
Sakit, besh.
And you will know that there will be benefits after it. So if you look at it that way, it would be a different approach. It would be a different answer. I didn't go to a vacation after that. I was just mumbling and grumbling and ranting because I couldn't take it anymore. But then God gave me a breakthrough. And for sure He will give you too. Because second says it is temporal. It's temporary. It doesn't go on every day. It doesn't go on forever. Because our forever is better. It's way better. Do you believe in forevers?
Yes. My forever besh.
My forever best.
Besh.
Our forever is way better than here. We know that this world is fallen, but we are called to suffer in it. And we will benefit from it. There is a purpose and benefit why God allows suffering in our life. We get to enjoy these benefits both now and in eternity. You don't have to wait for eternity to enjoy the benefits, brothers and sisters. You can enjoy it now as well as in eternity. So if you're investing on something, for example, you want to have an investment like insurance. So you start paying for it now, but what happens? You get to enjoy it later, right? You don't get to enjoy it now. It comes later. But this kind of investment, I am telling you, it comes now until eternity, right? So right now, if you are that person suffering, I'm glad to tell you, endure it, guys, because your benefits starts from now until eternity. God will pour blessing upon blessing upon blessing in your life for suffering and labor for His ministry. So those again who don't have ministries yet, if you want to have the benefit of having it now, you can enjoy it now until eternity, right?
Yes.
I just want to continue. Suffering builds our character. Do you agree?
Yes.
And makes us Christ-like. No wonder God allows the suffering. If you want to become partners with Christ, can you be crucified on the cross? Not entirely, but you can suffer just like He did. We may not go to the extent of being crucified on the cross, but our suffering is already a suffering that will be partnered with what Jesus Christ did. You can never outdo Jesus Christ, can you? You can never outdo Him. So we can just continue to think, okay, my suffering does not compare to the suffering Jesus had on the cross. And before the cross, He suffered even more. He was flogged, He was whipped, He was spat on, He wasn't even given a drink. So, do you think you can compare your suffering with that suffering? I believe not. Therefore, we can see that we cannot be Christ-like without suffering. Amen.
Amen.
So, I encourage you guys, suffer with me. Suffer with us. Another benefit is that God rewards or blesses us in so many other ways here on earth. Have you heard the testimony of Virgie?
Yes.
She's here. She's here in the UAE. She's been working here. She's been looking for a job. She wanted to work here in Al Ain. She was given that. That's a blessing. Her mom, that's a blessing. She just continues to suffer and labor here, but yet she's being given benefits by God. Financially, or in other ways, you know. So we can be the same, or I'm sure we are already the same. We're experiencing blessings even in small amounts or in small measures. But you know, blessing is a blessing.
Yes.
In conclusion, what should our attitude be in facing sufferings? Let us all learn from the example of the persecuted apostles in Acts. So in Acts, he said, the apostles left the high council rejoicing that God had counted them worthy to suffer disgrace for the name of Jesus. This is in the New Living Translation. In ESV, it's the same. It says, they left the presence of the council rejoicing. Can you say rejoicing?
Rejoicing.
That they were counted worthy to suffer. Would you like to be counted worthy to suffer?
Yes.
Would you like to say that I am suffering because I am counted worthy to suffer? Meaning God has put something, has put some weight on you because He knows that you are working with Him. So whether you suffer or not, you are counted worthy. Amplified Version says, rejoicing that they have been considered worthy, dignified by dignity. You may be indignified, you will still be dignified in heaven. You will be dignified in Jesus Christ. People might be persecuting you for being a Christian. They might be. You might feel indignified by it. But in God's eyes, my brother and sister, you are dignified.
Amen.
And what matters more is what God sees, not the other people sees. So it is an encouragement to all of us that if we are suffering, I don't know, maybe you are in a family where you are the only Christian and they are persecuting you for being a Christian. I don't know. You may be enduring this for a while, but you know, the approach to this is simple. Expect it, endure it, and expect for blessings and benefits. Right? Your life on earth is just a blink of an eye, it's just a short time. So when you get to heaven, you will be enjoying more. God will say, oh my daughter, my son, you have endured and I am pleased with you. That's a better thing to receive, right? You may be suffering, you may be saying, oh, I'm really tired from work. And I'm still ministering every Friday or on this certain Fridays. I have no certain rest. But God is blessing you day by day. You may not realize it, but He's giving you rest. Rest is not physical. Entirely physical. It's not totally physical, but He can give you rest.
Yes.
You may feel burned out, but God will give you rest. The Bible says He will renew your strength. He will soar. He will let you soar on wings like eagles. So if you haven't really suffered yet with us, you're most welcome to suffer with us. I'd just like to pray for you guys before we end.